Hi, welcome to the final part of this three-part series of Disruptive Doctors GP series on insurance with Dr. Sheil. I'm Dr. Selena, and today we're talking about something even heavier, medical legal dispute. Now, cases can drag on for 3, 5, sometimes 15 years, and the toll is massive on doctors emotionally, financially, and mentally. But what if there's a better way? And for doctors to help fix this broken system, now, we're going to explore the power of mediation, early neutral assessment, faster, fairer, and less adversarial. Now, Japhire from Dr. Shu joins us to introduce the Expert for Justice, a platform that could change how healthcare disputes are resolved. Hi, Japhire.
Hi, Dr. Selena. Thank you for the introduction. So let me start with explaining what typically happens in a dispute. So a plaintiff comes to the hospital or the clinic or the doctor and demands an apology or some kind of compensation, right? Or just shows extreme unhappiness. This is the starting point. After that, if they do not find a reason to calm down, they usually will go back and find a lawyer. So how do they find a lawyer? They ask around, they look for Google reviews on who's actually the best lawyer who can work a hospital. And when they find someone like that, the plaintiff lawyer would, of course, understand the business. They would go and find their own experts to help them understand the case. They will build it up. They will, of course, make it very, very strong, worth enough to bring it against the insurance company. Of course, they're not going to go with a weak case. It doesn't make sense, right? So if they're going to take up a case, then they would definitely want to know that they can have a good fight because they are representing the plaintiff here. Right. So that's the starting point. The first point is whereby the plaintiff comes to you and says, hey, you got a problem with me. I'm not happy. If you do not solve it there, they go and find a lawyer who represents you, and then the problem becomes bigger. Now, when there is a demand which is sent to the hospital, the clinic, or the doctor, then the next thing happens. They go to their own insurance company. The insurance company receives the claim, or people like Dr. She receives the claim. We speak with the insurance company, and the insurance company, along sometimes in consultation with the doctor, appoints a lawyer. So the lawyer who's in defense does investigation, picks up evidence, medical expert opinions, and then build up the case to defend the doctor. So at this point, you already see that there's two sides preparing, right, against each other. It's very adversarial in nature. That's the way it has been. Yeah? And then once they have a position of strength, they may try to negotiate. Okay. So both having a position of strength, they try to negotiate. Most of the time it doesn't work, then it gets to the court. I mean, currently we are talking about a very high percentage of cases that goes to the court. And with both lawyers having their own set of medical experts when they go to the court, that with a lot of other exchanges, this case typically can take 3 to 5 years. It can be very, very draining process. Very costly too. Time, cost, emotions, everything goes down, right? At the end of the day, after 3 to 5 years, or like what you said, sometimes even 15 years later, when the case gets resolved, it looks like everybody is a loser. Almost everybody is a loser, right? I mean, you can imagine the doctor or the plaintiff trying to sleep every night without any closure, right? It's like a dagger just hanging there. So it's very traumatic. This is the current situation now. How do we, this is the current situation. So how do we actually make this better? You have to understand that there is one factor which we think can change the entire game, scenario. There is willing and trained medical expert opinions. Yeah, or medical experts, willing and trained medical experts who can come forth and offer quick and neutral assessments without without taking sides, just being objective, right?
Can you explain
That's
more about that? What is this medical experts? Are they specialists? Are they just MOs? Like, who are they?
so we are talking about doctors who are in a similar situation with the similar capabilities, who could share their opinion on what they could have done, or whether what has been done is perhaps what they would have done. Is it fair, or is it something which no one else would have done in the similar situation? That's what actually the court needs, and that's what everyone wants to know, because only a doctor in a similar situation with similar capability would be able to give us an indication
So, how does
of.
a doctor like that? I mean, how does a doctor get involved in that kind of things?
So these are doctors who are called medical experts, or these are doctors who are willing to give medical expert opinions. Currently, we have very, very few of them. The reason why the court case takes 3 to 5 years and why the insurance company has to rely on defense lawyers is because getting medical experts to come up and say, hey, can you give me a very quick, neutral, objective opinion about it? It's very difficult. You do not have enough of them. I'll tell you what's the problem. If you speak to many doctors, they will tell you that it feels like they are going against their own kind. Yeah, that seems to be quite a big problem. I mean, at least from whatever I've heard from firsthand, speaking to many doctors, they say, yeah, I mean, nah, I don't want to do it. Number two, it's very strenuous on them too. They have to go and appear in the court and sometimes get examined. So they need to be steady, they need to be firm, they need to be objective. Sometimes they don't have enough time. And yeah, these are the main reasons. But the culture, I think, is probably the biggest reason why we don't have enough medical experts.
When you say the culture, does that mean that particularly in Malaysia, Singapore, Asian culture, but it's not the same in the Western side?
Yeah, I mean, from our research, it shows that we have a bigger problem in this region, Asian region. Yeah, we kind of feel it's brotherhood.
Okay, so say if I'm a doctor, I want to somehow get involved in this. What do I do?
So there are actually proper trainings that's available, and we are also trying to work with the Federation of Private Practitioners to put up a proper coursework. There are a couple of other bodies that we have noticed are actually conducting professional report writing, expert report writing. Basically, they have to be objective. They have to be using plain and precise language. They have to reduce jargons. Yeah, they have to reduce medical jargons because layman wants to know, the court wants to know, the plaintiff wants to know, the insurance company wants to know what exactly this is all about, right? And they have to stay within their lane. Only speak if it's within their expertise. Yeah. If not, they should not comment. So they have to be very objective.
When you say within their expertise, does it mean also like based on their specialties,
Yes.
or it can be a general person, general doctor?
No. So we need doctors who are in a similar capability as the person who's being sued. So let's say it's a ENT specialist who have done 15 years of work in this private sector. Then we are talking about someone who's got similar qualification and experience who can tell you, okay, I work in similar settings. This is what I would have done. Maybe three of them tell us what they think they would have done in a similar situation. That's how you gauge.
I see. And what work is Dr. Shield doing in regards to this?
So Dr. Shil is actually we are in the midst of building a platform called Experts for Justice. Experts for Justice is a platform where we will anonymize medical records and medical reports given by plaintiff, insurance companies, or even lawyers. We'll take out the hospital names, we'll take out the patient's name, just leave the age and the sex there. Yep, the details of all the other records will be there. And these would be given to 3 to 5 doctors who are in similar situation, who would be told to write a neutral, objective, quick assessment on it. Right. So it's anonymized report so that we take away this biasness factor. Then we, of course, you will see which are the doctors to choose from. There will be an entire database of doctors with all their experience and expertise. You'll be able to choose, and you'll be able to pay them on the spot, give them 7 to 14 days, and you'll get a report. With these reports, initial reports, even if it's an insurance company or a plaintiff family, we just want to empower them to make better decisions, better informed decisions on what similar doctors think, whether there's some negligence, whether it's no negligence, or whether it's worth going after a suit, or whether it is just worth forgetting it, moving on. They just want a closure. You can imagine a family who do not know what exactly happened until the legal case is over 3-5 years later. Otherwise,
Wow.
yeah. So that's what Dr. Shil is trying to implement, a platform that facilitates quicker dispute resolution. We hope this allows mediators to come in and look at the expert's opinion and say, okay, come, this is what 3 experts say. What shall we do? Shall we settle fast, or do you want to fight?
So which stage are you guys at right now with this Experts for Justice?
We are planning to roll this out by end of this year or early next year.
And what's the long-term goal for Experts for Justice?
It is the long-term goal is to reduce disputes, the time and cost taken is to bring justice speeder, faster. With or without Dr. Shield, this would be an independent platform, and this would be rolled out regionally. That's the goal.
So how do you see this shifting things, like, like from culture of blame to resolution? Like what's the shift you see?
Ultimately, it is not true that the doctors, they are kind among themselves and the patients are someone else. No, it's not true, right? The patients are the best ambassadors for the doctors. Patients are entrusting their health and lives with the doctors. It's actually our kind. It's all together. We need to shift from this, okay, I will win, you lose mentality. we need to shift towards the adversarial stance and say, let's settle amicably. We need the relationship to go on. We need to heal. There's been some damage. Come on, let's face it. Let's heal and let's move on. We need to get better. That's the direction.
Okay, is there anything else that's, you think that's really important that we have not touched on?
Experts for justice is gotta be rolled out in some time, but I think what's more important is for doctors to understand that we need them to come forth. We need you to come forth and say, okay, I'm going to give you neutral objective assessments so that disputes can be resolved quicker. Because remember that doctors can be patients one day too.
Oh, yes. I think when I was practicing, that's always what goes on in my mind. Someday I could be on the other side, and how would I like my doctor to treat me? Okay, if a doctor wants to get involved in this, how can they get involved?
They can actually reach out to us. We can guide them to the couple of programs that we are supporting, we are sponsoring, we are putting together a couple of programs for expert report writing. We work with a couple of associations. We are more than willing to guide them towards the right place.
Okay, thank you, Japhire, for bringing such powerful message to the table. Guys, this is about reshaping the system, how you can get involved and create a better healthcare system for everyone. Now, to learn more about Dr. Shield, please click on the link below. And also, Dr. Shield will be at our Disruptive Doctors Conference this 20th and 21st of September at the Sime Darby Convention Center. Be sure to come and check them out. I'm Dr. Selena from Disruptive Doctors. Stay tuned. Thank you.
Thank you.
Join Disruptive Doctors. Oh, oh, Disruptive